Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today we got the Season 3 Reloaded update for MW2 Warzone 2 and DMZ, and of course with that we got a bunch of brand new patch notes to go over. So we got all sorts of changes, gameplay updates, everything you can think of with this patch. So just getting right into the notes here. Global Season 3 Reloaded is here at the launch of Warzone Ranked Beta, a brand new Adam Grad raid episode, a new DMZ play space, a new core multiplayer map, and more. So events, we've got our camo challenge event, our new camo challenge event. One seasonal event is a follow-up to the popular camo challenges we had in Season 2. Complete one weapon category to unlock the new camo for every weapon in that category. Complete every single category to earn another new weapon camo for all weapons in general. We have our camo challenges that we've already gone over several times here. Trophy hunt update. We hope you enjoyed the trophy hunt. While players can no longer actively earn trophies, they can still spend them on rewards in the in-game events tab. So if you still have some trophies left over, you can actually still redeem some of those until you run out. Now for multiplayer, we do have a brand new 6v6 map called Hatchery. This is actually taken from one of the campaign missions, but it's twisted around a little bit with some new like sort of environmental areas there. Pretty cool map. Excited to jump in and see if it's a solid 6v6 option. In general, calling cards got specific updates here. Improve the user experience while navigating through the calling card menu. See your favorites, tracked and owned items. View calling cards from a specific mode. Preview mastery cards from a specific season. For general gameplay updates here, a challenge to unlock the Cronin Squall's ZX grip has been added. A challenge to unlock the underbarrel drill charge attachments for the Kastov 762 STB and TAC 56 has been added. Hybrid optics no longer have glint in the low magnification modes, and tracer effects can now be applied through attachment skin customization menu, which is pretty solid. Damage feedback visibility cleared out the red center, reduced the overall alpha of the red HUD overlay, reduced saturation of vision set flash, reduced distortion amount, reduced handheld camera noise on bullet damage. So basically it should be a little bit clearer when you're getting hit now is what I'm getting out of that. For movement, we got some changes here. Camera movement while walking and sprinting has been reduced. That's pretty solid. Weapon raise delay following parachute landing decreased by 30%. Interesting note there. Initial sliding acceleration increased by 6%. You'll love to see that. Any change here is at least something. The height threshold for single-handed mantling has been increased, allowing for more aggressive traversal. So some slight movement updates here and there. As we get into the weapons, quick reminder, if you guys are new to the channel, around 47% of viewers are not already subscribed. So if that's you, feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications every single day. I'm your one-stop shop for all the latest news, updates, meta conversations, you name it, it's all right here. Also, if you guys enjoy the video, let me know by dropping a like on it as well. It does really help the channel grow. For new weapons, we of course have the FTAC Siege, aka the Tech 9, then also the GS Magna fully automatic Desert Eagle or 50 GS, which is going to be pretty interesting. We'll have videos on each of these weapons later on today, breaking down the best setups for them for multiplayer and for Warzone, so stay tuned for that. We also have the new Throwing Star as a throwing knife alternative as well if you want that. Weapon balancing, first raise. The delay between first equipping a weapon and being able to fire it has been decreased across numerous weapons. Quick raise and quick drop. Quick raise and quick drop speeds have been uniformly increased, allowing for more rapid deployment of equipment, which is further improved by fast hands, which is pretty cool. Armor damage. Maximum armor damage values have been added to all assault rifles, battle rifles, SMGs, and light machine guns. These values will assist in slowing down close range time to kill. Interesting. Minimum armor damage values have been adjusted or added to several weapons to increase their viability at longer ranges. See the weapon changes below. So close range TTK in general is going to be changing here. Handguns, keep in mind any armor damage added here is Warzone only. Basilisk added a minimum armor damage or increased it. P890 minimum armor damage added. X12 minimum armor damage added. X13 auto minimum armor damage added. I'm going to be saying that a lot, I feel like, in this video here. For SMGs on the BAS P, a lot of changes here. ADS speed increased, headshot multiplier decreased, maximum damage increased, maximum damage range increased, so that's going to be the close range damage. Mid-far damage increased, mid-far damage range increased, minimum armor damage added, minimum damage increased, minimum damage range increased, reduced raise time. So overall, the BAS P does get a buff there. That's going to be a pretty interesting one considering it was already a pretty decent SMG. MP5 burst fire minimum armor damage increased. Mini Bach minimum armor damage increased. MX9 minimum armor damage added. Vaznev maximum damage range decreased. That's kind of an interesting one. So its close range drop off is going to be even more severe now. On the rifles, the Chimera, semi-auto minimum armor damage added. They reduced the first raise animation time. On the Hemlock, maximum damage decreased, that's its close range damage. Mid damage decreased, minimum damage decreased, lower torso multiplier increased, extremities multiplier decreased. So mainly nerfs to the Hemlock there, one slight buff to the lower torso multiplier. On the Cast-Off 545, close mid damage range decreased, so earlier drop off there. Mid damage range decreased, minimum armor damage added. So curiously enough, the 545 caught some slight nerfs there. 762 semi-auto minimum armor damage added, extremity multiplier decreased, so a slight nerf there. Cast-Off 74U minimum armor damage added as well. Lockman 556 close to mid damage increased, maximum damage range increased, mid damage range added, minimum armor damage range added, semi-auto minimum armor damage added, upper torso multiplier increase. So mainly what we're looking at here is some buffs to the Lockman 556, which is nice to see. Then the M16 finally caught some changes. Close to mid damage range increased, interesting. Maximum damage range increased, minimum armor damage added, cooldown time between bursts decreased, reduced first raise animation time. So overall more buffs here for the M16. On the M4, semi-auto minimum armor damage added, reduced first raise animation. M13B ADS speed slightly increased, so that's an interesting change there. Damage range is increased, that's also pretty solid for the M13. Hip spread accuracy increased, minimum armor damage added, and then reduced first raise animation time. TAC 56 maximum damage range decreased, so it's going to have an earlier drop off. For battle rifles, FTAC Recon, auto fire, minimum armor damage increased, minimum armor damage increased as well, reduced first raise animation time. The Lockman 762 auto fire, minimum armor damage increased, minimum armor damage added. SA-14 auto fire, minimum armor damage increased, good grief. Lower torso multiplier increased, max damage increased, so some buffs here in general. TAC V minimum armor damage increased, semi-auto minimum armor damage increased as well. For shotguns, Bryson 800 minimum armor damage increased, mid damage increased, so a slight buff to the Bryson 800. 890, kind of the same deal there. Lockwood 300 minimum armor damage added. Then for LMGs, HCR 56 minimum armor damage added. Wrap, reduced first raise animation time, same deal on the Sackins. So basically the TTK in general is going to be slowed down a decent amount here, which is interesting. Close range TTK is slower, long range TTK more balanced out. A lot of interesting changes. We'll have to see how this plays out. Now for attachments, we also saw some specific changes here on explosive ammo bullet velocity decrease. So the one-shot sniper meta is going to be even worse. That's a tough one. Snake shot tuning is enabled now, 300 blackout, maximum armor damage added. For lasers, the laser visibility has been decreased. They obviously increased it a lot with the last update. Canted vibro dot now blocks the underbarrel. Canted laser blocks an underbarrel as well. Magazines on the Fennec, the double tap mod had various different changes to it, mainly just armor damages being added. STB 556 single tap mod cooldown time shots decreased. The magazine adjustments below apply to all attachments depending on whether they are larger or smaller relative to a weapon's base magazine capacity. These changes will mean, on average, larger capacity magazines are considerably less punitive and smaller capacity magazines offer substantially more upside. So large magazines, ADS speed penalty decreased, movement speed penalties decreased. Larger magazines will now be faster, essentially. Small, ADS speed benefit, movement speed benefit, sprint-to-fire speed benefit all increase. So smaller magazines will be faster now. Larger magazines will be less slow. So basically, they're just making movement a little bit better there. For muzzles, Lockshot KT85 horizontal and vertical control has been changed. Horizontal has been decreased, vertical has been increased. So horizontal nerf, vertical buff there. On the hollow sight, reticle visibility improved specifically there. On the FJX Imperium, there were some changes to the Lux stock. The Rib 400 also has some changes. The X12 pistol, the XRK stock movement penalties were decreased. X13 auto also saw various different stock changes as well. Kind of an interesting niche area of focus in there, specifically with that. For underbarrels, the Corvus Master Key also had several changes. Very specific attachment changes in this one that are kind of strange, but hey, it's changes nonetheless. It'll make some things feel fresh. The cluster mine armor damage decreased as well in there. Various bug fixes. Fixed an issue that allowed multiple attachments to be equipped to the same category, resulting in broken or non-functional weapons. Fixed an issue that prevented death effects from occurring in DMZ and co-op modes. Fixed an issue with the FJX Imperium where its penetration level was lower than intended. Fixed an issue with the SPX 80 where its penetration level was lower than intended. Fixed an issue with the X10 Angel 40 optic where its depth of field was not rendering properly. Then we get into some vehicle changes here. Exiting a vehicle is now less likely to cause collisions with geometry. The heavy chopper is better at recognizing when it's in an uncoverable place and catches fire if stuck. Various bug fixes here for vehicles as well. If you want to pause the video and read those specific changes, by all means, feel free to do so. We also have some audio updates here too. Improved clarity of audio ascender use sound, improved the mix of precision airstrike and mortar strike kill streaks, particularly at a distance. Bug fixes, fix an issue where too much occlusion could happen on entities in the same room. Hopefully we just have better footstep audio. That's the main thing here. I don't expect it, but you never know. UI and UX, we also saw several changes here. Added an indicator for how to unlock the throwing star, revised the calling card challenge screen, and the camos menu makes it clear that gold and platinum need to be unlocked first before polyatomic can be progressed. Added an indicator for how many skins are available when selecting an attachment. Loadout menus display available loadouts as 2 rows on a single page instead of a horizontal scroll. Interesting. Improved visual quality of the score feed in multiplayer, added an indicator for party XP, made various improvements to the gunfight UI, added nation flags calling cards. You love to see that. Bug fixes for general, we also have various things here. Fixed an issue causing players to incorrectly grab the awning when attempting to mantle through a window. An issue causing the camera to zoom into where the player died when you're being revived. An issue with players being able to swap to an invalid weapon during last stand. An issue in gunfight causing players to appear muted. An issue causing the message explaining how to obtain an operator to be missing. An issue with the FJX Imperium mastery challenges. An issue causing players eliminated to be able to hold on to carried objects. And an issue causing score events to not appear while the player is performing an execution. On PC, they fixed a critical issue that would result in a hard crash of AMD VEGA users. Great change there. Finally, that took way too long. Fixed an issue for players who have a Steam account only, no longer granting access to Battle Pass stuff there. Spec Ops also saw some changes here. We have a new Adam Grad raid episode. Corey Inkslasher, he covers this stuff in depth, so if you're interested in the story, be sure to check him out. Cooperative, we also have a new mission there. There are also some slight bug fixes. For multiplayer, we got some new playlists. We've got Face Off, which is essentially 3v3 kill confirmed Dom and TDM on the gunfight maps. There's no streaks. Gunfight OSP is also going to be a thing now where you actually have to loot things in game. And Giant Infected is coming. This is Infected on the battle map. It's going to be very chaotic. I'm excited to try that one out. In general, players will no longer be awarded one shot, one kill for earning kills with the cranked bomb explosion, updated the gunfight mode a bit, removed laser attachments from all gunfight loadouts, enabled an oxygen meter, set enemy players an overtime flag to always show preview outlines. Private matches also saw several updates here as well. Nothing too crazy, but some fixes here and there. Ranked play, additional features, find a party, that's now going to be available. There's going to be more customization with that. We also have several bug fixes for multiplayer as well. An issue where you could not deploy the MGB while swimming. An issue where getting DDoSed while holding a javelin would prevent lock-on. And a small number of issues that prevented the perk widget from updating properly in All or Nothing. Some issues with some other perks there. An issue with the cranked timer not being given to players who eliminate another player when Survivor's active. An issue where an invalid camo reference was being applied to weapons. An issue where shock sticks were being equipped as lethal equipment in gunfight, an issue where the out of bounds timer could be reset, and various exploits on Paleo's Lighthouse and Himmelmott Expo. There was also an issue in private matches that was fixed as well. Warzone 2 specific updates here. A sandstorm spotted on the outskirts of Al Mazrah is headed towards Al Mazrah City. Operators should expect reduced visibility in the area. Interesting. So we're going to be getting a sort of sandstorm event, I guess it would seem. Additional loot spawn locations have been added as well on the northwest section of the map. Gameplay adjustments, UAV. This is global. UAV pings will now only emit from the player who activates the streak. This is a nerf. If the player who activated the streak is killed, the UAV is gone. Using 3 UAVs will still upgrade to an advanced UAV. This is an interesting one, but UAVs will now be available in all buy stations. We wanted to better balance them, so universal UAV availability, but they're going to be less strong now. Mortar strikes, the amount of missiles dropped is decreased by 25%. And disabled the ability to ping enemies through smoke. We talked about this one before. More buy stations on Ashika Island. Quality of life updates. Pings are now visible to spectators. There's no more party queue interruptions. You can continue to create your class when you know, the squad leader is queuing for a match and whatnot. No more interruptions there. You can see the ammo cache elevation now if it's above or below you. Buy station item selection is now always going to start on the gear. The buy station loadout name, you'll see the custom loadout names when you navigate to a weapon. Compass ping squad number, player ping icons on the compass will now appear with their respective squad member number. Kill streak tablet icon will actually appear above the streak in the world, so you don't get confused if it's a streak or if it's a heartbeat sensor. Contract icon visibility. If you have an active contract, you can still see other contracts now. Proximity chat temporary mute. Players will no longer be able to hear proximity chat when loading into a game. Relevant ammo automatic pickup. Players will now automatically pick up ammo to start an initial stack in the backpack. That's pretty solid. Oxygen level meter is also going to appear now. Various bug fixes. Fix an issue that caused some contract phones to spawn inside of inaccessible areas. An issue that allowed players to bypass the cost of interacting the UAV tower. An issue where refueling the heavy chopper again while it had a different skin than the one selected would cause physics problems. An issue where the heavy chopper fuel sometimes disappeared. An issue with the UTV floating was also fixed as well. Maps on Al Mazrah, reviving downed players while on a train is more consistent. Fixed portaling issues. Fixed player collision navigation issues. Fixed collision issues. Fixed vehicle collision issues. Fixed rare lighting issue. Fixed bullet collision issues. We also have detailed playlist updates for some of the upcoming playlists throughout the week. So for the 10th, the 17th, the 24th, we'll get to that, you know, stuff when the dates end up coming up closer. We obviously also have Warzone ranked. I'm very excited to jump into this. You know, obviously going to give an actual incentive to grinding, which is very fun as well. We've already gone through all the details for this in previous videos, so no need to, you know, rehash all of this stuff because there is a lot with it when it comes down to it. PSA Champions Quest rewards refresh. These are the final weeks for players to earn the current Champions Quest rewards before the Season 4 reward refresh drops. So new rewards coming in Season 4 for the nuke. We also have some new gameplay features as well. The deployable buy stations, just like back in Caldera. Lootable perks are going to be a thing now, which is very cool. There's also going to be the Gulag tokens available as well. Some adjustments. The reward crate will now drop when players eliminate the most wanted contracts, so you have more of an incentive to take out the kings. Buy station inventories have been adjusted to provide players with an expected static list of purchasable items. A new perk packs tab has been added as well for $3,500. There's also unlimited gear items, armor plates, masks, boxes, UAVs. UAV cost increase is now up to 6,000, by the way. Mortar strikes, precision strikes, loadout drops. Limited gear or counter UAVs. There's only 2 of those, only 2 cluster mines, only 2 self-revives, only 2 durable gas masks. We also have various different mode updates here with contracts. On Intel, they doubled the radius of the upload station capture zone. Redeploy drones, the distance throw players are now going to be deployed with a more boost basically on Al Mazrah, and the spawning are now static from match to match. Loadout drops, contested loadout drops in circles 2 and 5 have been changed to squad loadout drops. I like that, and that's for ranked and resurgence. Enemy combatants for strongholds, removed armor plates. Reduced accuracy by approximately 27%. Primary weapon limited to Castov 7.62. Equipment limited to frags, semtexes, and gas nades. Bots are getting nerfed there essentially. Gulag decreased the number of armor plates that players spawn with to 2, down from 3. So basically you just have less armor in the Gulag. Then also on Resurgence, the loadout drop event, a second loadout drop event has been added to Massive Resurgence. We've got some bug fixes as well. Fix an issue causing the down notification to appear in the kill feed, to not appear in the kill feed rather. An issue causing, you know, redeploy drones from doing explosive damage to players on and near impact. An issue in Al Mazrah that would cause some locations to not be in the end circle candidates. This change will open up a lot more variety in the end circle locations. I like to see that. DMZ also got some specific updates here. We have the Koshchi complex, which I'm still not able to pronounce. This is basically DMZ, but at night there's, you know, it's dark. It's going to be an interesting play space. I'm very excited to see what this is about. The NVGs are going to be a new item. There's also various different updates for DMZ specifically here. If you want to pause and read the exact specifics, feel free to do so. Same deal with the bug fixes here. There are a lot of them, so I'll just leave you guys to read all these. Save time for everyone. If you're interested in DMZ, pause and go through all the very specific bug fixes. An issue where pinging the dog tag of a disconnected player triggers an incorrect voice line, like very specific stuff there. And that's pretty much going to wrap up the patch notes for Season 3 Reloaded. Some pretty positive changes. TTK steps in the right direction, I would say. Gameplay adjustments that are pretty cool. Ranked, obviously. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, but that's going to wrap things up. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you're new here, feel free to hit that subscribe button to always stay up to date with all things going on in COD. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy. Have an awesome rest of your day. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.
Warzone.